Welcome to Rotten Damians. Today we'll be discussing my demonic encounter, a true story. Our story begins at about 8 p.m. in July of 2013. I was 12 years old at the time and on a school tour in Kimberly. Kimberly is a city in South Africa with a rich history of the South African War. For this reason, it is said to be the most haunted province in the country, housing many British and Boer spirits. As part of our trip, the school organized a ghost hunting experience with a professional named Red. Red took us to multiple supposedly haunted locations, the final spot being a graveyard. Upon arriving at the graveyard, I was a little disappointed that I had not experienced anything paranormal yet. So like any sane 12-year-old, I decided to let the group walk ahead so that I could be alone in the hopes of something happening. It was about 12 a.m. and I was looking left and right waiting to see something. I remember my heart beating out of my chest, and although I wanted something to happen, I distinctively remember thinking, please God, don't let anything happen. As I finished this thought, I saw a tall, slender, hooded man. The outline of him was darker than the night. I watched him as he walked, staring at the floor with his hands in his pockets. He walked past a tree and I expected to see his shadow emerge on the other side, but once the tree covered his body, he disappeared. I never saw him come out on the other end. At the time, I didn't think anything of this experience because there were houses to the left of the graveyard, so I assumed it was just too dark to see him and that he had hopped the fence of the graveyard, taking a shortcut to his home. I was a little disappointed, but also somewhat relieved that nothing had happened, or so I thought. 2 years had gone by and I had almost completely forgotten about the ghost hunting experience. I stood in my driveway at about 3 a.m. waiting for my father. We were traveling 3 hours to a swim meet and I had to be there early. In my yard, there is a huge yellowwood tree sitting in the bottom corner. I was staring at this tree, allowing my thoughts to drift, when I suddenly saw the same hooded figure. It walked out from behind the tree, staring at its feet. It took a few steps before looking up and turning its head to look directly at me. It then looked down and continued walking. I was about to scream that there was an intruder in the yard, but as I opened my mouth, the figure disappeared into thin air. It was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had to date. I did not even blink. One moment the figure was there and the next it was gone. This is part 1 of the series where I will be outlining the complete story of this entity. This was the beginning of a terrifying and long-term haunting. After this, things get even weirder. If you're enjoying this series and would like to hear more, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an upload. Thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.